Rich, Crazy Rides Inc. Hit the notification. First, hit the subscribe and check out our channel. We're here at Trask Performance, and they have the turbos. They're the biggest ones on the market today. Everybody that I know has them, and we're going to get a little information about these turbos. And I'm here with
Eric.
And yeah. Eric is going to give us kind of a breakdown of the build, the performance, and the reliability of it. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
I can do that.
You're on.
All right. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's Eric with Trask Performance. We're out of Phoenix, Arizona. We build a turbo kit for twin cam, Milwaukee 8, Sportster, and V-Rod platforms. You can turbocharge any size motor with our turbo kit. We do have two sizes. So one is for stock displacement. You know, you're anything from an 88-inch all the way up to a 117. Okay, anything 117 and larger is a stage 2. Only difference is the size of turbos. If you come and see us in Daytona or jump on our website, traskperformance.com, you're gonna see that we have 5 different styles to choose from, okay? All those styles have a different price range. They all make the same power. They all do the same thing for the bike you're putting it on, okay? So more or less pick your style and we get you all set up. We use the Thundermax to tune the systems. We'll include a map, like right here in Daytona, we're installing these kits, okay? Typically a guy will call and pre-order the turbo kit, okay? We'll make it specifically for him. He shows up at his scheduled time, we install it. We don't even charge for installation, okay? So this is the best bang for their buck. We only do this in Daytona in the springtime and in Sturgis. So if you are interested in having one done at an event, definitely give us a call or hit up traskperformance.com and send us a message. If you wanted to do this yourself in your garage, it's a bolt-on application, okay? There's no cutting, welding, any crazy stuff like that. It all bolts together, okay? You don't even need to get into the engine to do any engine work. We also have authorized dealers all over the United States, and we are distributed by Drag Specialties. And yes, you now can get a turbo kit from Drag Specialties for the stock displacement bikes.
Oh,
I encourage you guys to go over to the Drag Specialties booth and check that bike out. Yeah, it's not here, but it's over at their booth showing it off. So, do you guys have any questions on what turbocharging actually is?
Yes, that's a lot of the people don't actually know what how and what it does and what kind of performance you get out of it.
Sure.
And let's even go with a stock bike.
Sure.
Everybody has a stock bike, and if they want to build a bike, why build it if you could put the power in on a turbo?
Sure.
You're going to spend the same money building it, so you might as well just throw the turbo on it, right? And
that's the biggest selling point. Bolting on a turbo kit and running 8 pounds of boost on 91 octane pump gas is going to get you a 40% increase in power on average, okay? Things like adding cams and things like that can increase that a little bit, but we just keep an average of 40. Makes sense for everybody. You can bolt it right onto a stock platform with that 40%. Just to give you an idea, a stock 103, which is a twin cam, about 78 horsepower on the dyno stock. We're going to be upwards in between 120 and 130 depending on the cam. Here at the rally, that's a 6-hour install. I'm having you turbocharged and 40% more power on the road.
What about the Milwaukee 8s?
Milwaukee, what are you riding?
I wear a 19 Road Glide Special Milwaukee 8, but I have a 117 Stage 4 in it.
Okay, so let's just take a stock 117, okay? Because everybody's a little familiar with those.
So 114.
Or the stock 114. Even if we go with the stock 114, you're probably looking about that 130 to 140 horse, again, depending on what can you have in there.
What torque are we
Torque numbers will be close to the same as your horsepower numbers. Again, depending on the cam, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. It just kind of depends. But 40% is what you can kind of bank on for both of those numbers.
What's the durability?
Durability, this is the thing that most guys, they ask the question, but keep in mind, all this is an exhaust system. That's all it is. And on the exhaust system, it has a turbo. Okay, the turbo is the only mechanical thing on the whole kit. that does, you know, a specific thing. That's the power adder. So when you create exhaust, the exhaust volume spins the turbo on one side. On the other side, there's another wheel that sucks the air in and pushes it into the motor.
Like an impeller.
It is. It's an impeller. Okay. All an engine is a big air pump. So if you force more air into the air pump, it makes things go faster. It makes more power. We use a Thundermax with larger injectors and O2 sensors to sense all this stuff and say, hey, we're under boost, now we're gonna throw more fuel at it. That's why we use a Thundermax. That's why it's necessary to run it on the bike. It's just to keep your air-fuel ratio legit, like where it's supposed to be.
Now we know that the Milwaukee 8s run hot. The hottest, I don't care what you do, they run hot. You feel it in your legs. Like forcing air in it like this, does it run the engine cooler, or does it run it hotter, or the same?
In neither. Keep in mind, when you're forcing air into the motor, you're not doing it all the time. If you're just cruising around in Daytona, most likely, unless you're really trying to get under boost, you'll never be in boost. You get out on the freeway, now you're under boost. Even when you're boosting, you can talk to some of our guys that have these. You're not in boost for very long when you're getting stuff done. You want to get past a car, it's like riding a 1,000cc sport bike. You hit the throttle, you're past it, now you're chopped the throttle again. Most cases, sometimes you don't because it's too fun. But when you chop that throttle, you're right back into cruising speed. You just keep on trucking.
So the strain on the motor is not even...
It's minimal. It's not all the time. It's not constant. So that's the kind of misnomer. Everybody's like, what's the longevity like? I literally have customers, bone stock bike right off the showroom floor at Black Hills Harley. We put a turbo kit on. He's got 100,000 miles on it. It's no joke. It happens. They do it.
All right, that's a good question. Now we know car turbos, if 60,000 miles, the bearing goes, the bushing goes, the disc goes, the turbo's gone.
Sure.
On these, let's say a particular bike with 50,000 miles, I've started with 0. What's the wear time on that turbo?
It's all about maintenance, okay? We try to reduce the oil intervals, oil change intervals. We recommend you do it 1,500 to 2,000 miles, use a high quality synthetic oil. The only thing that's gonna destroy a turbo is heat or oil contamination. If you can manage either of those, we know the turbos will last 100,000 miles because we have proof in the field. That guy can bring his bike and park it on our booth. You can't tell it has 100,000 miles on it. Yeah. So again, maintenance is key to everything. It doesn't matter what it is, what it's equipped with. If you take care of your equipment, the equipment will take care of you. There's a reason construction guys check their oil every morning before they start that machine, because they depend on it for work. Treat your toys the same way and they'll last for a long time.
That's right. Yeah, I know oil is a big problem because some of the dealerships, 5,000 mile oil changes. I prefer 3,000. I'm old school.
Sure.
3,500, you know, and if I can't get around, I don't think I go any farther than 4. But they go 5,000, 7,000. I don't even do that in a car. You know, fresh oil is what you want, especially we're down here in Florida, and it's hot and it's humid, and that oil just takes a beat.
Traffic. And you're in slow traffic. Right. And that's the other thing. It's cheap insurance. Just think it is the cheapest insurance you can get. It's 4 quarts of oil and a filter. Change it often, and stuff will last a long time.
So what are some of these components?
So the components are very simple. Again, this is a mechanical exhaust system, right? So you start with the head pipe. Okay, it comes out of the cylinders and it feeds the turbo. You can see it comes out of the cylinder here, feeds the turbo, front cylinder, the same thing. The exhaust spins the turbine that's on this side, okay? And the one thing people think with turbos is that you're using the exhaust gas to pressurize the system. You're not. This is a completely separate cavity. So your exhaust stays on this side. It only stays on this side. Here's your discharge tube, okay?
One pipe.
One pipe. You come over to this side, this is your charge tube. So behind the filter is the other wheel. That wheel gets spun up because of your exhaust. When you're under load, then it forces air into the plenum. This is a plenum, okay? Your air cleaner's up here, and magic happens, okay? That's where all the magic happens, the air forcing into the motorcycle. Other components, you can't see it, but the blow-off valve's back here. That means the blow-off valve is for when you chop the throttle when you're under boost, you hear the psh. Okay?
Right.
It lets it out. It just releases the pressure so you're back to neutral. Okay? Now your wastegate here controls how much boost actually the bike can build. Okay? So when when the turbo spins to 8 pounds and is providing 8 pounds, this dumps out your excess exhaust. So the only time this pipe has any exhaust coming out is when it's dumping excess exhaust when you're under load. So a lot of people think this is what makes the blow-off sound. It's not. That's the actual exhaust will come out of there.
Which prevents a lot of back pressure,
Yes.
too much back pressure into the heads
Yes.
and into the lower
Into
end.
the engine.
Right, into the engine completely.
So there's no baffles in the tailpipe. It is just a wide, open, hollow tube. Okay, and that's about it. You know, the cam cover we include with it. It has supports. It has an oil drain in it. You feed the turbo with your engine oil. All this stuff comes with the kit. The boost gauge. You get new injectors. You get spark plugs.
Where is
Everything.
the dial that you tune in for a higher boost?
We don't have that installed on this bike. Typically, we
do
don't
you?
recommend it.
Okay.
And here's why.
That's the
Because you can make a
question.
mistake. If you're really good and you know how this stuff works, we have a race bike on our lift over there.
Right.
In those cases, okay, it might be necessary. 8 pounds of boost for pump gas is what we recommend. Can you play with a little bit depending on your elevation? Yes, you can. But at some point when you add boost, you have to have a higher octane of fuel.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, you're going to detonate it, and it's going to be a bad day.
All right. So if you wanted to put race fuel in a stock bike with yours, in a stock engine with yours, would you be able to get
No.
more out of?
I would not recommend that because
that's
your
a question
pistons.
that a lot of people want to know.
Your pistons are soft in a stock motor. Okay, it's not built for that. It's not meant for it. So if you wanted to run higher boost and you wanted to put race gas in and do those things, really you need to build the motor to hold that extra pressure, and that's everything we recommend when you're doing that. Do ground up from the crank up. You know, put everything to hold the boost that you're going to run.
But it's not necessary to get the power you want that you're not going to get unless you build a motor out to the max.
Sure.
You can get all the power you want out of a stock motor just by putting this on. To get 140 and 145 horse, and to do that to a stock motor, you got to push it out to at least a 145. Or, you know what I mean? You'd have to open it up. You'd have to open it up to get that kind of power.
This bike's got a twin cam SNS 143 in it. Okay, that bike, you know, I think it's advertised as 160 horse off the shelf.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Now, it's more or less a race motor.
Yeah.
That thing's running well over 200 horsepower, and then we run race gas in it because it's a big motor and it's hot out here.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing's close to 300 horsepower at the highest boost level we have ever tested it at. Thing's an animal. I mean, you could be under full throttle on something that's very impressive that would any one of us would consider healthy, and that thing will walk away from you like
Did you ever run it on the track? Did you ever time it?
I'm not sure if it's ever been timed. We actually built it for a customer, and then Nick bought it back because that's like the coolest bike. I mean, all of us love it. It's the FXR for Pete's sake. That is a very, very trick bike in itself, much less the power.
Yeah.
So that's on our high-end custom side of things. You know, it's got a custom intercooler, custom kit. That's nothing you can buy off the shelf. Something like this, you can buy off the shelf. Now, this is more of our premium kit. We built it for the Assault series of bikes that we offer. It's a stage 2 kit, so you can put it on a 114, but it'll work up to a 143 or however high you want to get it.
Okay.
It seems like they keep building the displacements higher and higher every time.
Yeah.
So, but this is a good stage 2 kit. Stainless steel. It's all handmade, high cut, welded, hand welded. One guy just sits down and makes the kit.
All right, this is a question that everybody wants to know. We all know that these Harleys run hot. Now, there's a lot of open spaces over here. So the turbo's not covered, and you only have these plates here. What kind of heat comes out of that?
It's the heat that comes off the exhaust pipe is going to be the same kind of heat you feel off your exhaust pipe.
But this is the only cover that covers it. So
it is. This is stainless steel, so it dissipates heat a lot better.
faster.
Okay, it's also a 3-inch discharge tube, which is a lot bigger. Okay. Also, there's no restriction in this pipe. The only restrictions here are the turbo.
And how hot does that turbo get when your foot is at that brake system and everything? Does it get hot?
I mean, it gets hot. I wouldn't put my leg against it.
There's no shield for that.
No, but I will tell you, if I'm in traffic like this, I would rather have my foot up here on the floorboards than hanging back here.
Okay.
Because the rear cylinder on on these V-twins. They're hot.
I know.
So I'd rather not scorch the inside of my leg.
It's a killer.
And if you're wearing boots and pants, you're good. It's not gonna bother you. I mean, it's hot. It's a motorcycle, and in traffic like wonderful Florida or Sturgis.
So you're not getting any difference from the heat, whether it's a stock bike or a
overall the heat, like temperature-wise, no. There's more piping here. You're gonna feel more. Okay, it just is what it is. It's more piping, but there's not additional heat being added. All right. So I always tell guys, when you're coming to rallies like this, keep in mind, we don't like to sit in traffic. None of us do. We want to ride, right? That's the worst part of a rally. But if you have to, if you're going to sit in traffic, just shut it off. It's an air-cooled motor, regardless of what pipes or turbo system or whatever you got going on. It's an air-cooled motor at the end of the day.
You mean shut the bike off?
Yeah, shut it off.
Okay.
There's no need to keep it running and let it drop a cylinder like that.
Can we listen to one?
Absolutely. Now this platform right here is a 128 built by us with the turbo system on it. 8 pounds of boost. You're running about 200 horsepower. So.
Where's the seat though?
Yeah. Hold on tight.
Is there a parachute on this thing?
Yeah. We don't need to stop. So like I said, these are the premium kits. Feel free to walk past all the other bikes. We have some good examples of everything we offer. There's not every kit we have isn't on display. But check out our website, traskperformance.com.
Price range?
Price range goes from $6,190 all the way up to $10,000 for this kit in particular.
Okay, now I have a 131.
Yep.
So what would something like mine cost?
Stage 2 kits start at $7,650, and then again go to the $10,000 because that is a stage. This assassin kit is a stage 2 kit.
And mine's the 117 with there was a 114 with at that time they only had a stage 4 117.
Yep.
Is that the same situation with me?
117s are kind of in between. You can go either way.
Because I have the 11-to-1 pistons in that.
Yep.
You know?
And 11-to-1's the highest compression ratio we want to turbocharge on the Milwaukee 8s. But 117, you're on the high side of a small turbo and on the small side of a big turbo.
So what would you recommend?
You can go either way. I'd go with the bigger turbo just in case, especially if you're a power hungry guy.
Okay.
That way when you build your motor next time, you're ready to go. You don't have to repurchase anything, sell anything, you're just ready to go.
I have one question. Now, all of them that I've seen have the short pipes. But you have one here that has a long pipe.
Yeah.
How does that work? They don't like a short pipe.
Yep.
They want that long pipe.
And that's why
And I didn't know you could do that until now I saw this.
So this is our original turbo kit, okay? This is when Nick was first making them, a lot of guys wanted something more traditional, and that holds true today. This is probably our best selling kit, especially for stage 1s, because you bolt it on, it looks very similar to the stock look, okay?
Yeah.
But it's a turbo. Like it's all operates the exact same. You have your same wastegate here, your turbo, your charge tube. It's 80% of the kit is the exact same as what you have on the bigger.
Do you have this for the stage 2 as well?
Yes. Yep. Any of our kits can come stage 1 or stage 2.
So you could get the long pipe.
Yeah.
And what muffler do you use?
It's our muffler, but it's not a muffler. It's just a bigger open pipe. It's just for looks, more or less.
Right.
I mean, on our race bike, and it's not here right now, but I encourage everybody to check out Beggar Racing League and Motor America, because that's where we race. But if you look at our race bike, there's no pipe. It's just a little turnout. That's all it is. Because we don't need anything. You know, when we're going that fast, we're in a different seating position. We're not worried about what the exhaust looks
So the
like.
bigger racings that are going on over here, they're turbos. Are your turbos?
We're the only one, to my knowledge, that's running a turbo. Now, as you can see,
that's right. You have your own bike there.
yeah, we have our own bike. So
there.
we've got a banner
Right.
over there. We were the Bagger Racing League champions for 21 and 2022. The race we're going to be running this weekend is for Moto America.
You mean next weekend?
Yeah, next weekend.
I'll be here.
From today.
I'll be here.
So we'll be out there representing the little guys, going up against the factory teams, seeing what we can do.
Yeah, we'll be videoing that too. Maybe I can get you in the vids.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there. I got to
Okay.
take care of business here, but Nick will be over there.
All right.
You can
I'll
stop
tell
by
him
and
that I know you.
yeah, say hello.
And you give us a little tour of the
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem.
And great talking to you.
Nice
Thanks
meeting
for
you.
the education.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is Richie from Crazy Lights 8. And if you want this product, we're going to drop a link. And do you have a link where we could drop it on?
Yeah, actually, I'm going to give you my business card, and on the back is a QR code. If you guys scan this QR code or go to the address that's on it, if you have any questions, fill out the form, submit it. There's even a call me now button where you can literally hit the button. It'll call my office. If I don't answer, just leave a
I will
message.
take this, and Eric will put this in the system, and we'll have that all for you. So it's Richie, Crazy Rides Inc. signing off. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, man.